I was saying we are very passionate about a lot of the things that are being said.
We speak passionately. You can tell that these are issues.
We really do give a shit. We give a shit about our clients. We are your realtors for life. Like, we live passionately by that. And anybody who's ever bought or sold a house with us can testify and basically speak on our behalf that we really go in and work hard to make sure we get houses for the proper prices for our clients. We work hard to make sure that the houses are inspected. We work hard to make sure that they get the right home, the right investment, whether it's resale, long-term.
We work with the proper mortgage professionals to make sure that they're protected from a financial standpoint.
When I'm selling your home, whether you like this market or not, I'm going to do the strategy that makes my client the most money. I'm not going to do the strategy that's the best for the buyers. I'm not going to do the strategy that's best for the economy. I'm going to do the strategy that's going to make my sellers the most money. That's my job.
That's why they're hiring.
That's my job. I understand people don't like the prices that we're having, we're seeing, but this is not us. It's supply and demand, and it's happening everywhere. I'm going to I'm not going to go to my seller and say, I'm going to sell your home, but we're going to use this strategy because I don't want you to make the most money, because I don't want this market to continue to grow. I obviously have to do what's going to do the best result for my seller. Now, on the buying end, I hate it. I hate the fuck out of it. Like, I can't stand the market that we're in, because we were just saying, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I could enjoy a weekend. I could pick up a coffee with my clients. We could go to 20 houses over the weekend, have fun doing it. We didn't have to stress about multiple offers, who's writing on this, how much more over asking. We could pick any house that we like, negotiate out a price, put normal conditions in, go in and do a proper deal, and it was done. That was easier for us. It was easier for our buyers, and it was more fun. We don't like this market as much as anybody else. I'm happy for the sellers. I'm happy that anybody who owns a home is doing really well and they're making good money. That's great for them. But on the buying side, I hate it just as much as everybody else. And I passionately want to express my thoughts on the fact that I am here to make sure our buyers get the best investment they can, but we're also navigating this through just like everybody else. And I hate when I read these articles that agents are blowing up these prices. No, listen, I have sisters that are trying to get into the real estate market. I have a brother who's trying to get in the real estate market. I have friends trying to get into the real estate market. I have clients that I deeply care about trying to get in the real estate market. We're servicing them, running around for 6 months trying to find them a home. I don't want this to be happening. No. Now, for the sellers, this is great. I get it. It's a good time right now to be a seller. That's just the market we're in. It's not the agents. It's just supply and demand.
But often those sellers are on the buying side, on one side of the transaction as well. So they don't get off scot-free from this market.
Right.
Like they have to go and play the same game on the other side of it.
Right.
Selling is easy, buying is hard. Now in an opposite market, where you've got all these houses to choose from, the buying side, like you just mentioned, you could go out, you could see 20 houses. It was fun. You could pick whatever you wanted. From a first-time home buyer perspective, that's awesome. But when you're also selling your home in that market, you might take 90 to 120 days to sell your home for a price that even makes sense to you at all. So again, there's no magic perfectly balanced utopian market here where you're going to be able to sell your home for a price that you think is fair and that you want, and immediately go out and find a beautiful home and have no stress involved in that situation.
That's a good point, because in a market that is in favor of the buyers, there's more options for sellers where they, as far as they can sell their home, like you said, it might take them 120 days, 90 days, whatever it is. But once it's sold, they're not stressing about having to find a home. That's the easier part in that market. Selling the home is the harder part. So that's typically the market when you start to see house to sell conditions.
Yep.
So that's nice. They can either decide to sell first, give themselves a long closing, go find a home, or they could put a house to sell condition in there. Today, house to sell conditions don't exist. So sellers really only have one option, and that's to buy first, because selling is not the issue right now. It's buying. But the problem is, if all of our listings that we're supposed to have on market right now are not, because they're all trying to find a home, well, then everybody is being held hostage by this
Right.
market. So our sellers are all ready, locked and loaded to put their houses on the market, but none of them are going to put their houses on the market until they find a home. But if there's no homes because none of the sellers are putting their houses on market, we're in this crazy
You're right.
cycle. And this is the issue we're having.
Yeah.
It's not the realtors, it's not the banks, it's yes, interest rates were lower, and there's a lot of people looking to get into the real estate game, and it's just the supply and demand issue. I don't know else how to fix it. I think the rising interest rates are going to help simmer things off. I think that's a good move. I think the time of year is right for the rising interest rates because we're coming into a spring market where naturally more houses will hit the market. But I think this is just a short-term effect that we're going to feel in a long-term problem that we're going to continue to have.